And we're off to the races. Welcome everyone. This is something new that Fitty and I are doing. So if you don't know Fitty, he's an F-35 pilot. I'm a has-been. He used to fly an F-16.
I'll watch
we don't know what we're gonna call this. We got to come up with a name for this, but it's talking about current events, things that are happening, give you our perspective, our thoughts, even though no one asked for it. So yeah, I don't know. Next step is we got to figure out what we're gonna call this podcast, this segment. So here we go.
Just to be determined. Just keep it. Made forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's TBD.
Yeah.
It's probably not trademarked. That could be ours. But
that could be it.
Something cool. We're talking about back and forth. I'd say cool. It's completely changed the landscape of the battlefield and its drones, right? Like that's changed the landscape of battle since the early 2000s when our Air Force starts flying around. But now all these commercial drones are popping up in Ukraine. I remember watching some of the videos that like ISIS produced, which was just, it was Hollywood style terror videos. And now weaponizing drones. So
yeah,
got a couple videos to share. I think let's throw this up on the screen and take a look, and then we can share our thoughts with this video that's popped up that, again, they put some time in to edit it.
Yeah, it's somewhere between like really cool and also terrifying.
Yeah, it really is terrifying when like watching this and seeing, dude, this is like a DJI drone that you can buy from the store, and now you can put explosives or whatever on it and zip it across a quarter mile, half mile, or whatever it is, and fly it through a window. Oh, well, here we go.
All right.
Look at that, man. It's like a little grenade. I don't even know.
Kind of catchy tune.
Right? And they are spearing tanks, personnel carriers, like through windows.
This is the one, like they see it right at the end.
Yeah, look at that. You see the guys like turn around, back it up. This armored personnel carrier driving down the road, and that's like the dude spots it just then, and they start shooting at it.
Tries to shoot it.
Like a drone farm.
Yeah, just stacked up. I'm sure, especially, remember when drones first came out, they were way expensive. And now, the things we were selling was like $1,000 a pop, and you have a high-tech one that I saw, you can either do what they're doing, and I saw a couple of videos where they're like, no kidding, dropping, like flying on top of something and then just like releasing a grenade down below it.
Have you seen that one video? Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of them, but it's, them releasing the grenade from above. But I've seen these guys who are like videoing themselves sleeping or whatever it is, and the drone drops a grenade and they just like kind of like bat it away, or they throw it back out. And then a minute later, they drop another grenade on this dude sleeping. You're like, man, this is just wild. But you're right. These things from being a couple $1,000s now, you're getting for $70 off Amazon. And I'm sure if you're able to mass produce them, it's a whole other story.
Yeah, I think I found one more.
You had another one, didn't you?
Yeah, let me pull this up. It was kind of interesting because it was like you could see what they put on. They're like the Google 3D glasses. See, I pulled that up on there. So I'll play part of it where like they're getting ready, and then like, you can see what they do at the end. It just looks like they just snipe a couple guys in a house. So they're the glasses with like.
That's wild. It's like the drone racing league. Have you seen those videos? The guys like,
yeah, exactly.
But with kinetic.
So you can kind of see in the middle, there's like that blue, doors and people outside.
Yeah.
It looks like they're watching for a minute. I'll pause it and then jump forward to where they strike it. But boom.
Dude, yeah. They're flying that thing through the door.
Just dab each other, high five, and then it becomes like a video game, I'm sure, to him. But I remember thinking, I remember in Afghanistan, they're talking about how when we were dropping weapons, like usually you could see them scatter, like at their last second, if they're hunkering down, because they could hear like the bang bang guidance of like the fins.
Yeah.
There was like that last like half a second when they knew they're about to get just smoked. I'm trying to think what a terrifying sound. Obviously, you could hear that drone in the video, just that buzz sound, like just prior. Like, it won't be long before that becomes spread, I'm sure.
That's a good point, because I was just thinking this, looks like a hellfire, right? With the ability to like strike on a building site or whatever it might be, but instead of costing $150,000, $300,000, $500,000, it's some dude who's standing in a tree line a couple hundred yards away that's flying this $70 drone through a window, and just smoking a whole set of dudes.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I think I saw one of the articles. It was talking like, obviously that video I showed was just a bunch of obviously military age men doing it, but this one was showing like kids and females, and like they can do it from anywhere. Like they're just like linking drones up to them, and they're just chasing tanks out of their towns, and it's kind of crazy with just a little bit of conflict how much that the creativity comes out.
Yeah, and that's things start changing from there. I mean, machine gun changed the battlefield.
Yep.
GPS guided weapons, airplanes, all these things change the battlescape, and I'd say drones are probably going to be something that change it as we go into even more complex things. If you got drone F-35s flying around, whatever it might be. But this was another cool photo that, let's see if I can pull this one up. Probably not. Nope. This is what happens when you get a bunch of fighter pilots trying to run technology. We really need someone to like do this for us.
How do we find someone?
Yeah, this is
a snack.
See this photo here?
Oh dang!
Little S-300 with all these kill markings thrown on it.
Yeah, looks like they got a mix of like flankers on there, helicopters, frogfoots.
Yeah, I guess
one of the model ones there.
Are those cruise missiles?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I'm thinking drones.
Or maybe rockets. Maybe they're shooting down.
Yeah.
Down rockets. Yeah,
funny story. When the Russians started shooting cruise missiles into Syria, we'd actually get the data link tracks populated. And you could lock them up with a targeting pod, which is kind of cool. Kind of weird. But
yeah, it's kind of weird. Just watch the show.
Yeah, you got to wonder. So, how accurate this photo is. They're obviously shooting down a lot of stuff. And the irony, they're shooting down Russian stuff with Russian-made weapons.
Yeah, no kidding.
But if this is a collection of everything they've shot down, or if this actual battery is responsible for the shoot downs of all these.
I won't be surprised. I mean, I'm sure there's a mix of like a lot of this is like keeping the hearts and minds of the Ukrainians aboard too. Not saying that they didn't shoot all those down, because I know they're definitely winning some serious victories with those, but I'm sure maybe could be a part of it too.
Yeah, but the propaganda machine. Everyone's doing propaganda. You gotta keep people engaged.
We're just help spreading it right now. Ukraine is winning.
I mean,
there's
it's
no
an epic
doubt
photo if it's true. Like, could you imagine? I was like, man, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
zipping around there. The other piece too, I guess going back, what was the Malaysian Air that got shot down?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Because you had 370, which got lost, or whatever happened. No one knows what happened to that. I haven't watched the documentary yet.
Yep.
And then they had the Malaysian Air that got shot down over Ukraine. Was that right before or right after? But I'm guessing it's most likely one of these systems. I think that's what they assessed it to be.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. It's kind of weird, that whole dynamic over there of like, I saw, I mean, they're literally, minus like the drones that we saw, resorting to like trench warfare. Like they're dug in, like you saw that last video that was showing, like they're all buried in, like, no kidding, dug out trenches. It seems like Russians are doing similar stuff, and they're just lobbing things back and forth at each other now with drones. But this is like World War I style.
Yeah, you did have an article. I should pull that up. We mentioned it briefly, but talking like the Russians, I know the Drive had an article on the Russians bombing their own people. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Again, this is where we need someone with tech support.
Yeah, I think it was one was close to the Ukraine border, I think, right?
Yeah, there we go. SU-34 bomb one of its own cities. So let's see. SU-34 Fullback, that's a big old plane. Accidentally dropped a bomb or other type of offensive weapon on the Russian city of Belgorod, not far from the Ukrainian border, in the first incident of its kind that we're aware of in this conflict.
Huh. Makes you wonder if they know came like.
This might be the video
Yeah, hit the
here.
play on that one. I think that's the one that shows it because it's a weird like it looks almost like a dud, and then
this is a big city too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was playing. So that's the first like hit, and then wait like almost like a 10-second delay. I guess not millisecond.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah,
quite
the delay.
It was like we're not milliseconds anymore. That was like
I know
20-second delay time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tactics are on that one.
Yeah, so I was backing it up here. So they drop that sucker. Looks like it's a sidewalk. I don't even know how this is possible.
Yeah.
You know,
like you think it was a. I mean, either intentional, meant to do it, accidentally pickled and the bomb fell off, or I think they were calling like an inadvertent release. So it did it because you did it. But who knows? That's kind of
about the only thing. It could be an inadvertent release, but you know, the bomb's obviously got to be timed to. It's got to be armed, and it's not like it was jettisoned and fell off the plane accidentally. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, what else? What do you got?
I think there's some funny memes for like what the status of the Air Force retention.
Yeah,
seems to be high.
You got a better essay on it than I do, but I saw this from the Mayor of Roll Call Instagram page the other day, which I thought was pretty. Or wait, this is Blind Nordo memes.
Okay,
both of them great spots, but
great spots.
Let's see. It's got the Air Force and pilot retention. Little Billy Madison.
Classic movie. Oh man, that seems about right. So, as all your listeners are probably well aware, there's obviously like uniform standards, and used to be like very strict on haircut and what uniform wear, how you had your females' nails done, like all sorts of stuff. And they've recently relaxed a lot of things, which are probably for the better. It used to be like not okay to roll your sleeves up, even though we did it anyways in the flight suit. But as of recently, this is like 3 months ago, they released something saying you can now, you can have more faddish type haircuts. So think like, hard parts, you can grow, you can get beards if you have like a shaving waiver, not like your special ops guys growing beards, but just your normal run of the mill airmen. And then the recent one is like they started putting tattoo parlors. I think Nellis got one like on base, and you can have neck tattoos. I think it says like and no more than like 1 inch in diameter, so whatever it is. But you're allowed to have neck tattoos. You're allowed to grow beards. You're allowed to, insert whatever crazy new wokeness things we're allowed to do. But what they've recently took away, because clearly morale was too high. People are smiling too much on Fridays. I'll stop there for the non-pilot listeners. Usually on Fridays we have these morale shirts. So like I fly with the 58 Fighter Squadron, which is like a blue color. So we have blue undershirts versus like the coyote, tan one. And so on Friday you walk around and everyone has their squadron colors on, which is a good, morale boost just to kind of have some identity. So as of recently in the flight suit uniform, you are no longer allowed to wear a colored undershirt. So clearly that was either just led to dereliction of duty or made people too happy. I don't know, but
you can't have that just anarchy running around.
No kidding.
It's amazing. It's something so simple as like a colored t-shirt that people wear on Fridays that if you just left it alone, like it doesn't impact anyone. Like just let it be.
Yeah.
But
and it's like twofold. So like one, it's, total BS that we have to use this or follow this new rule. But the second thing is like, what officer, general, whoever signed the stuff spent time to think like, we need to go back through it, and I'm not happy with this one, and spend energy on changing like the Friday morale shirt.
And this was a result of like,
and
yeah, I mean, this was a reversal from a few years ago. This was like one of those deals like, hey, everyone's getting out. It's miserable. This is like the 2014, 2015 timeframe. And a lot of it was like, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but they're like, hey, we're gonna start doing some small wins that we control. Like, all right, hey, you can, if you're not an F-35 pilot, you can get your nugget, your helmet wrapped.
Yep.
You know, kind of, you know, they're bringing back heritage planes. So doing the paint schemes on them, some kind of just, I mean, it's small like stuff. Sure. And then one of those like, hey, yeah, colored morale shirts on Friday, not just like the black or the tan shirt. And then here we are, like complete reversal.
I mean, we'll go back to like the Blues Mondays before we know it. And we were wearing like business casual. If you're not flying, those are rough days.
I remember I never wore blues on Monday because that was my FAPE days. So obviously I was always flying on Mondays.
Same.
We're like, how silly is this? We're just like trying to, I don't know. Why are we wearing this? I also point out too, we wear a silly little blue hat with a flight suit that is, when you actually take a step back and look at it, is actually pretty ridiculous and looks silly.
Yeah.
We've just grown accustomed to it. Yep. So I don't know.
So that meme's spot on.
Yeah. Curious to see what,
just
did the bonus come out yet? Because has the bonus come out?
Yeah, they're still waiting. I mean, the rumor I think's out there that will be maybe 50, but we'll see. Checks the mail until you see it. Yeah,
checks definitely in the mail on that one. I wonder what the numbers are. The last take rate I saw for the bonus, it wasn't stellar. It hasn't been stellar in, I don't know, quite a while. Probably since like 2004.
Yeah. Well, especially our age group, like the 07, 08, 09 graduating classes, there's like none of them left.
Yeah.
So weird time.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
All right. Fitty, what else you got before we wrap up?
I just think if there's people listening that have requests and stuff, we throw that out there in the comments. Yeah. I don't know. You're going to give away your truck if you have someone that.
Yeah, I think it's we should. Yeah.
So
for the first 100 listeners, they're going to get a free truck. Definitely count on it.
Yeah.
Write that down. Yeah, no, if there's something that people, if you're listening to this, this will evolve as we polish it. Again, we got to come up with a name, but looking to bring the content that you want, but talking about things that are happening, give a little context, a little fighter pilot perspective on items that pop up in and around the news and what's happening. And again, no one asked for our opinion, but
we'll give it to you.
Yeah. And you'll like it. All right.
Cool.
I think that's it. Thanks, brother.
See you, buddy.
See ya.